We continue with Psalm 86, verses 6, 7, and 9. There are times in our distress when we fail to realize the overall prophetic plan of our God. Verse 6 of 86 reads, "Give ear, O Lord, to my prayer, and give heed to the voice of my supplication." David's spirit urged him to be more fervent in prayer. Therefore, he implores the Lord to hear his request. Verse 7 of 86 reads, "In the day of my trouble I shall call upon you, for you will answer me." A man who always makes God his refuge may rest assured that God will interpose and save him in his time of trouble. We read in James 1, 5 through 8, "Now if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and without criticizing, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, without doubting. For the doubter is like the surging sea, driven and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to see anything from the Lord. An indecisive man is unstable in all his ways." There are times in our desperation that we fail to realize the plan of our God, who may be allowing the situation to intensify that he may receive the glory. But rest assured, God answers prayer, for there can be no reason for praying if there is no expectation that our Lord will answer. Verse 9 of Psalm 86, "All nations whom you have made shall come and worship before you, O Lord, and they shall glorify your name." David is convinced, and correctly I might add, that his theology is correct about the existence and perfections of God, and that in time the whole world will come to realize the truth of his being. We haven't seen it yet, but our Bible promises us that it will come to pass. God's Spirit writes through the prophet Isaiah in chapter 2 and verses 2 and 3. "In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be established at the top of the mountains and will be raised above the hills. All nations will stream to it, and the people will come and say, 'Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us about his ways, so that we may walk in his paths. For instructions will go out of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.'" In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be established at the top of the mountain and will be raised above the hills. Perhaps this will find its ultimate fulfillment in Zechariah 14, 9 through 11. "And the Lord will be king over all the earth in that day. The Lord will be the only one, and his name will be the only one. All of the land will be changed into a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of the Jerusalem. But Jerusalem will rise and remain on its site from the Benjamin gate as far as the place of the first gate to the corner gate, and from the tower of Hanel to the king's winepress. People will live in it, and there will no longer be a curse, for Jerusalem will dwell in security." This prophecy is so important that God's Spirit has Isaiah elaborate on it and repeat the promise in Isaiah 60, verses 3 through 14. "A day when Jerusalem will become the navel of the earth. All nations will come to your light, mighty kings will come to see your radiance. Look and see, for everyone is coming home. Your sons are coming from the distant land. Your little daughters will be carried home. Your eyes will shine and your heart will thrill with joy, for merchants from around the world will come to you. They will bring you the wealth of many lands. Vast caravans of camels will converge on you, the camels of Midian and Ephah, the people of Sheba, and the gold and frankincense, and will come worshiping the Lord. The flocks of Kedar will be given to you, and the rams of Nebaioth will be brought for my altars, and I will accept their offerings and make my temple glorious." And what do I see flying in the clouds to Israel like doves to their nest? They are ships from the ends of the earth, from the lands that trust in me, led by the great ships of Tarshish. They are bringing the people of Israel home from far away, carrying their silver and gold. They will honor the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has filled you with splendor. Foreigners will come to rebuild your towns, and their kings will serve you. For though I have destroyed you in my anger, I will now have mercy on you through my grace. Your gates will stay open around the clock to receive the wealth of many lands. The kings of the world will be led as captives in a victory procession. For the nations that refuse to serve you will be destroyed. The glory of Lebanon will be yours, the forests of cypress, fir, and pine, to beautify my sanctuary. My temple will be glorious. The descendants of your tormentors will come and bow down before you. Those who despise you will kiss your feet. They will call you the city of the Lord and Zion of the Holy One of Israel.